welcome to your next card in this month's special class, which is using the Berry Blessing stamp set and designer series papers. For this card design, we're going to be cutting some shaded spruce cardstock, and this is a really simple layering technique and a little bit of fussy cutting, so I hope you enjoy putting this one together. You are going to need your trimmer, and you're going to need your shaded spruce coloured piece of card, some white card, and of course that DSP. On the reverse of that is that vintage looking piece with all the fruits on as well. Okay, so to start with, we're going to cut our card base, and we're going to lay our cardstock in our trimmer so that it's landscape orientation, meaning the long edges at the top. We're going to line it up at 14.9 centimetres, and we're going to score. Okay, and then we're going to turn, so we've now got portrait orientation, and it is the short edge at the top. We will line up at 10.5 centimetres, and we will cut. That then is our two card bases that we need. Okay, our piece of DSP on the front needs to measure 9.5 centimetres wide by 13.9 centimetres long. Okay. We then need two pieces of basic white cardstock. We need one piece that is 13.9 centimetres long by 9.5 centimetres wide. That is the same size as the piece of DSP on the front, so that is our piece for the centre. And then we need a strip for our sentiment and to add our berries to. And we're going to line this up at 3.5 centimetres and cut. Oh, I didn't cut then. 3.5 centimetres and cut. And then we'll turn and we'll line that up at 10.5 and cut again. So we've got a 3.5 centimetre by 10.5 centimetre strip. Okay. Let's bring our card base back in. The trick with the 10-fold card is to make sure you make your score line really crisp. If you try and make that stand without doing that, it will just splay out and it won't stand very well at all. But once you've used your bone folder on that edge, your card will stand really, really nicely. Okay, so very simply we're going to layer on our DSP like so. Add our basic white piece that is the same size in the centre of our card. Okay. And then before we attach our white strip, we're going to do some stamping. So we're going to stamp our sentiment from the Berry Blessings stamp set, and I'm stamping in garden green. Okay, and that is just going to go about there. So on the right hand side, we can now add this to our card, and we're adding it to our card so that it's roughly in the centre, and I'm going to use dimensionals to add that. Like so. Line it up with the edges. Okay, so our card is starting to come together. Now onto some scrap basic white. We're going to stamp a few of our berries. So to start with, I'm going to use the top of the berry, and I'm just using the infill stamp, and I'm going to stamp one like so and one like so. Okay, so it's just the top of that berry. Now on my next stamp I have the berry outline. So I'm using rich razzleberry to stamp. Okay, and then I'm lining that up with the top of that leaf and stamping like so. Like that. And then we have the infill stamp just there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to ink that up. We're going to stamp off either onto your grid paper or onto a scrap of Whisper White. And then we're just going to lay that over our berry outline and stamp. So what that gives you is that gives you the same colour but just a different tone. So it just helps to make that all come together. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to just snip around these with our snips. I always like to leave a little white border when I'm cutting out. Like so. So we have one, and then follow around the outside of the second one. Best way for me to fussy cut, I find, is to hold my scissors quite still and move my card or whatever I'm trying to cut out. It just gives you that little bit more control. Okay, and then we can add our Blackberries to our card, like so. Just like that. Okay, you can by all means add another one inside the card if you wanted to. I'm going to leave mine plain. So that is our card finished there for you. I hope you enjoyed that one. Nice and simple technique. It would work with any of the patterns as well. Bye for now.